Hello, everybody. I want to take this moment to make a video to honor and remember the life of Adam Kreutinger. I never knew him personally, but I we were friends on Facebook and we've messaged before, so I kind of knew him. We knew each other at least, and but it is such a sad day for the puppeteering community today that we lost one of the legends of this community. Adam Kreutinger was an art teacher. He was also a puppeteer. He was also a puppet builder. He was also a podcaster. He was a husband. He was a father. He was inspiration to a lot of us. And unfortunately, he lost his battle with cancer and he's in heaven now. My condolences go to his family, his close friends, and I just want to share my thoughts about Adam. And again, I didn't know him personally, but we did message from time to time. And I just want to talk about the big impact that he left on the puppeteering world. And honestly, I think that Adam is up in the Jim Henson, Don Celine level of legends in this community. And the reason I say that is, first of all, Don Celine was one of the very first Muppet builders, and he is credited to create the Muppet style. He created Rolf the Dog and a lot of the early Jim Henson Muppets. And the reason why I put Adam in such a high pedestal is because he did a lot of things in this community that none of us thought it would be possible. He taught us a lot of things that were industry secrets, and he just shared it with everyone and taught everyone that anyone can build a puppet. I remember a few years ago on TikTok, I did some comedic reviews of puppet builders and puppeteers in the community, and I said that Adam Kreutinger was kind of like Remy from Ratatouille, telling everybody that anyone can cook, anyone can build a puppet, and he made sure that anyone learned that with a little effort and dedication, you can build a puppet. Not only that, he created one of the most, I would say, important podcasts in the puppeteering world, Puppeteers, which he co-hosted with Cam Garrity. And in that podcast, he interviewed legends from this community. And I'm sorry if I keep saying puppeteering community over and over, but I can't stress enough how big of an impact he did with his podcast, Puppeteers. He interviewed puppeteers from the Muppets, from Sesame Street, puppet builders, puppet writers, Muppet writers, people that worked with Jim Henson, with the Muppets, with Sesame Street, and also puppeteers outside of the Muppet world. And he basically brought these people to the spotlight and gave them a platform to share their story. Because to us, people like Eric Jacobson, Peter Lenz, um, people like that are celebrity to us, but to the outside world, they're nobodies. And yet, he gave a platform for them to talk. Two of my favorite uh, interviews that he did in Puppeteers is the one with Bonnie Erickson, another legend Muppet builder, and also with the man that basically popularized and nearly created Antron fleas, the magical fleas for making puppets. And I cannot see these stories being told unless Adam and Cam created this podcast and brought all these people together. So these stories that were only heard within the industry can be heard publicly. And people like myself who don't have access to Bonnie Erickson or any of these people can listen to these stories and just be amazed and inspired to continue working on our crafts. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I started puppetry around 2007, and I didn't start sewing and making my own puppets until 2008. And back then, there were little to no resources on how to build a puppet. The only resources out there were Project Puppet, which I highly recommend, and a few other sources here and there. YouTube was a thing, but it wasn't as strong or popular like it is today. And the way I learned to build puppets was by trial and error. I had so many errors, so many so many things went wrong before I can get it right. And Adam Kreutinger took it upon himself to start documenting and recording the way he built puppets. And not only doing that, but also teaching others how to do it, and also teaching others that the resources to create a high quality puppet are available to anyone. I think he even did a video on how to make a puppet without sewing with the hot glue gun, and it's basically, instead of gatekeeping this information, he just shared it with the world, and he built this empire with puppets. And you know, if you just go through YouTube and look up his work, you can see that he worked in theater. He has made costumes before. He once did a production of Avenue Q. He has built puppets for celebrities. He has built puppets for influencers like my good friend Disney Dan. And you can see his work. And when I heard the news today, I couldn't believe it. But then once I saw other sources kind of confirming his passing, I'm like, oh no, we really lost him. And the Instagram posts and the Facebook posts that I've been seeing about people honoring him and sharing their Adam story, or sharing the puppet that they built because of Adam, or the puppet they bought from Adam, because Adam will sell puppets every now and then. And it just pains my heart, because we really did lose a great man in this community. Right now on me, I don't have any puppets, because I think it'll be very fitting to make this video with puppets on my hands, but currently they're unavailable. But he did so much for the puppet community. He taught us, he inspired us. And and now, and you know what's interesting is, you know what's also sad, that I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that tomorrow, February 28th, would have been his birthday. Um, but something that I realized about the impact of Adam Kruinger is, let me share more about myself. Later this year, I'm gonna be turning 30 years old, and with the posts that I see people post about Adam, I realize that a lot of people today saw Adam's videos when they were kids, when they were children, when they were preteens. And when I was a preteen, again, we only had Project Puppet and like two other videos on how to build a puppet. But his impact of teaching children, teaching teenagers about sewing and crafting and building, taking a flat thing and turning it into a 3D shape, and making a puppet, and saying, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. You don't need fancy machines, you don't need fancy equipment, you don't need to be in a workshop. You can literally make this in your own room, in your living room, in your own home. And seeing that today's children, today's teenagers, today's young adults kind of grew up watching Adam, it kind of blows my mind that this is that big of an impact that he left in the puppeteering world. And I'm gonna truly miss him. I wish I've known him, but throughout our different career paths, unfortunately, I never got to meet him in person. But I just love seeing the pictures that people share. And I don't know, it's just, we lost a legend, guys. This guy, he, with his podcast and his tutorial videos, he really did change the puppeteering community. and and now he's in heaven with Jim Henson. I know that sounds corny, but it's true. Um, Again, he was battling brain cancer for a while now, and again, my condolences to the family and to anyone battling cancer, because I know that's the toughest battle that anyone can do. And Adam's family has a GoFundMe that it was dedicated to his cancer battle. I don't know what's going to happen from there on. It might be used to pay medical bills or even to the funeral, but I'm going to link the GoFundMe in the description below so you can make a donation. I made a donation. Um, I'm not saying that because I'm just saying that let's help this family out, because we also know that with medical bills and funerals are expensive. If TikTok has taught me anything from being on the funeral side on TikTok, is that funerals are expensive, and any little thing helps. Any little things helps. And what also gets me is that Adam, um, again, he was a father, and he had two young children, Fred and Ernie, and now those two kids are gonna grow up without a father. They're gonna grow up without a father, and that's tough. And also his wife, Maria, she became a widow, and that's tough. That's tough, And something that some of you may not know about Adam and his wedding is that he actually made his wife's wedding dress, and he kind of revealed it on their wedding day. So he made a whole video series about him making his wife's wedding dress and showing it to her on the day of their wedding. And not only this man can make puppets, but also this man made a full blown wedding gown for his wife. And look it up. I just remembered that, and it's like, again, I didn't know him personally. I never met him in person, and yet I felt like seen the his art career, his passion for the arts, for sewing, for creating, for inspiring others to do the same. Because I remember seeing that video about the wedding dress, and I'm like, man, if he can make a wedding dress, I can make anything. And again, he made this in his workshop at home. He didn't have a fancy studio. He didn't have fancy machines. He had everyday stuff that we could get. And if he can make magical stuff like that, like a puppet or a costume or a full-blown wedding dress, then I can do the same. And also, he didn't gatekeep anything, because something about any industry is that there's a lot of gatekeeping where people don't want to share their secrets. And Adam didn't hold back. He shared everything. He said, "You can, if I can do it, you can do it." And Adam, you're gonna be missed, and hopefully you can finally rest in peace and not have to fight anymore. We're gonna miss you here on Earth. I'm gonna miss your videos. I'm gonna miss everything. And to the Kruer and your family, my condolences. I wish you the best, and I just want to let everyone know that Adam was a great man, a great puppeteer, a great everything. And with that said, life, you know, I honestly think about this every day, that life is not guaranteed. You are here today, and tomorrow something can happen. An illness can take you away, or an accident, or something out of the blue, and it's important to show your loved ones that you care about them. And that's all I have to say. Like, Adam, thank you for everything that you did. You're a legend. You're a star, and you inspired thousands and thousands. I want to say even millions. You inspired millions to get creative, to not be afraid of sewing, and to make puppets. And again, you're up there with the legends now. And Adam, I love you. It was great knowing you through Facebook and messaging, because that's as far as we knew each other. But Adam, you're going to be missed. And thank you for everything that you did. And we will never forget you.